Welcome back, everybody, to this audio-only episode. Unfortunately, Nick, our co-host, will not be joining us this week. He is out hunting. I am your host, JD Wonder, alongside my co-host, the Dr. Love, Mr. Mikey Love.
Mr. Nick.
That he's not here right now. You gotta give
My
that
bad, my
intro
bad.
when he's in here. Yeah,
My bad.
it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so to start off, got any big games of the weekend? We did have a lot of big games, and we had a lot of high scoring and walk-off filled games. So is there anyone to hit on first?
The obvious one to talk about is the Texas Tech one.
Oh, absolutely. So to start in that game, I believe it was the Friday game, correct? Friday or Saturday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe it was the conference.
Okay, so it must have been Saturday then.
Or,
Anyways, so
yeah.
for one of the games, Texas Tech walks it off against Texas on a steal home.
Mm.
So, to my knowledge, didn't see it live, saw some replays, but the pitcher was looking down, and the guy at third said, "I'm just going to take that," and went and stole home.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that play? And can you confirm?
So I didn't get I saw a couple different angles from it. And from what I could tell, it just looked like the pitcher, I'm not gonna say he didn't know what was going on, but he just, I don't know if he didn't. I think he knew there was a runner on third. He just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because he went from his regular motion went to come set, and as right as he started that whole motion, the guy just took off, and this the Texas guy had no chance at all. Like the Texas catcher came up and was ready to make a play, but he
But
just
he
like
didn't look up in
knew.
time.
He just like knew. He was like, I'm not getting this guy out, and so he just basically walked away from the plate in a way.
Oh, all right.
It was very cool. There was a couple of different things where they were like, what you don't see from this is all of the stuff before, like learning how this guy pitches, how the
Mm-hmm.
pitcher works, and it's all factual things that if you're, not if you haven't played baseball or if you, um, just don't watch it at like a very in-depth level, you just watch it for fun. Maybe it's something that
Right.
you won't catch up on, but it was super cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like if you're in the box and you see the pitcher has a certain tick when they're going to throw a certain pitch, or they're
Mhm.
they're tipping their pitches. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So great baseball IQ. That player was Kurt Wilson, who then later in the other game, which was 12-12 tied, and I believe they went into extras. He hit a walk-off grand slam to
He
end the
hit
game.
the piss out of that ball.
Absolutely. Well, in that same game, we had a Soto shuffle from Jace Young, our boy.
Oh, really?
Yes, I saw that on the highlight reel. That he was did a little shuffle in there. Love to see
Yeah.
it. Love to see it.
I believe it was also the Texas game where one of the kids for Texas Tech hit a bomb, just pissed all over it,
Hmm.
and just ran around the base as fast as he could, basically showing up the Texas guys, and then pointed at like the Texas bench and was like, "Let's go, like bring it on."
Love that.
And the home plate umpire was having none of it, zero. He like walked this dude back to the dugout.
Yikes.
Ridiculous.
Well, that's the difference between like old school and new school thinking of baseball. I mean, you do want to respect your opponent, but at the same time, if you're getting fired up, that's why I like it more when they do it towards their own dugout. Like if they're getting fired up towards their own guys, like that fires me up even in the crowd.
Yeah,
But sometimes you have those little like tiffs and stuff where it's like some guys take the game a little bit too seriously. Like if you're pointing towards their dugout and stuff, and I get it, it's a competitive edge and all that kind of stuff, but I just love to see guys fired up and showing emotion. I feel like
oh yeah,
that's
it's
something.
definitely baseball, no doubt.
Mhm.
But the umpires can't be controlling of that. Like, let the kids play. Like they say at the MLB level, just let them ball. Let them show some kids up.
Right, and yeah, but you also have that too if they're in an authoritative role. You know what I'm saying? Like that happens
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean,
Could just be that guy.
yeah. Texas finally was like enough's enough and beat the piss out of Texas Tech yesterday,
Hmm.
12-1.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So
So
yes,
they came back, but it's like I don't know. I don't think they should be policing that stuff. It's so dumb to me, I think.
Right. Yeah. If they're just being chippy, then that's yeah. Just let
It's
them
a
go with
different
it.
story. Another big one, the Ole Miss Tennessee one.
Yeah.
Tennessee
Tennessee
swept
swept on
Ole
the
Miss.
weekend.
We got some shakeup within the top 10 this week too.
Didn't Tennessee take that number one spot now?
It's
Wow.
Tennessee, Arkansas, Oregon State, Virginia, Florida
Oh.
State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Texas, Vandy, and Ole Miss to round out the top 10.
Ooh.
Not a whole lot of a shakeup within the
Then the
10 to
yeah the
25.
mhm.
You got Dallas Baptist coming in for the first time this year. Texas State moved up, and I think this is the first time Oregon's been up there too. Um, Oregon's 21, and where'd they go? Dallas Baptist is 19.
Mm.
So a little bit of a shakeup. The Ole Miss series was kind of interesting, I thought. I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
able
for
to
sure.
catch
To see
any of it.
Tennessee come out and
hmm
put it on them.
Yeah, I wasn't able to catch any of that. Were you at all?
No, the game that caught my attention the most was just a singular game on Sunday. But to round out the sweeps though of the weekend that we had Miami sweeping North Carolina, and they did a walk off in the 14th against them to clinch the sweep.
hmm hmm
Then TCU swept Kent State, which Kent State isn't a bad program at all. And TCU, like we talked about in the beginning, having a new coach, all that kind of stuff, to still stay in that conversation. Yeah, so that's phenomenal. But the game that I was watching was Campbell put up 36 runs.
Jesus.
So they put up a football score on that Sunday game, I believe. I'm going to pull it up just to make sure that I am not incorrect in that information.
My God.
Just real fast.
I know Wake Forest swept was it Georgia Tech? That's the play? Yep,
I believe
Georgia
so, yeah.
Tech. Yep. Tommy
So
Tanks
that's
hit
sweet.
any nukes? I didn't get to see that.
I think he did. I think he went deep at least once.
Well, yeah, he's at 12
Would be the
on the year. Still hitting that 350 average on the year.
350 average.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid. I mean, with a hot start, so you can kind of like coast on that for a little bit. And he had kind of had a down few weeks, but then he seems like he's kind of bouncing back into it.
His strikeouts are kind of rising. He's got
Mm-hmm.
23. He's got a stolen bag on the year. So Tommy Wheels over there, you know how it is.
Tommy
I know you
Wheels.
know what it's like to have wheels. I do not.
That is not factual
Um,
evidence whatsoever.
mm,
Just because you were carting yourself around on crutches for a while doesn't mean anything.
well, well.
Probably was still faster than me on crutches. I can't find the score, but I know for sure they put up that many runs because I looked at that and I
Who
was
was
like,
it?
what?
Say it again.
Campbell. They scored 36 runs. But I'm for sure because I saw that score and I was like, what? Didn't know we were playing football. And then another game, since we were talking about Oklahoma last week, they had 2 grand slams in back-to-back innings to walk off the game. So they had a grand slam in the 8th, and then they had a grand slam in the 9th to walk it off.
Seemed like there was quite a few grand slams this weekend.
That's some of the big players that I had in the weekend. Like a bunch of them had two. Like 2 of them had 2.
I
So
believe was this. It might have been Campbell, the kid who had 4 home runs. 2 of them were grand slams. Is that what you're talking about?
he's from Yale. Jake Gary had
That's
2
what it was.
grand slams
Yale.
and 4 total home runs with 11 RBIs
Here's that
in a
score, by the
game.
way. 36-4.
Yeah, there you go.
Dear
Yeah.
God.
No, I said at the beginning of this episode, there was a lot of offense to be had. Like pitching staffs
Oh
were not
yeah.
holding it down. The only pitching staff that seemed to have a really good weekend, Virginia pitching staff had a combined no hitter until 2 outs in the 9th.
Virginia's been cruising.
Oh,
They're
exactly.
22 and
They
2.
glided right up to the top of the rankings.
Oh, quickly. Top
Mm-hmm.
5 within what, 3 weeks, I think?
Mm-hmm. Well, with Jake Geloff on that team, kind of powering that offense, and then obviously having that performance from the pitching staff, that'll definitely push it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, imagine having a no hitter, a combined no hitter with 2 outs in the 9th. And I believe it was just like a ground ball up the middle, I think was the thing that broke it up.
They use quite a bit of pitch. They've got some dudes on here.
Mm-hmm.
They got one guy. He's got 11 innings, no, with an ERA of 0.
Wow.
This dude, their top guy, has a 2.06.
What's that? What's his name?
Nate Savino.
Savino. Oh yeah, he had some nasty case
Dude
this
is
weekend.
Dyson kids. What's our Tennessee boy up to? Mr. 104.
Mr. Gas.
What's his name again? I
Well,
don't
he's
even
number
remember.
44, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that doesn't help me.
If you have the roster pulled, I can pull up the roster real
I
fast.
don't have the roster. My guy. Here, I'll pull it up before you. Let's race.
Let's race.
You about to
Oh
lose.
no.
You about to lose. Oh God, where's the roster?
Skirt, 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 skirt.
Ben Joyce.
Dang
You are
it. Ben
slow.
Joyce.
He's
6'5",
got
225-pound junior.
12
Oof.
Ks,
How many innings pitched?
7 2/3.
So
And
he's almost getting 2 Ks an inning.
his
Good Lord.
opponent's batting average is a 172.
I would imagine.
Oh my
gosh.
God, this Tennessee pitching staff. Nobody has above their opponent's batting average. Nobody has above a 2.5. Well, this guy's got a .74, but we're not counting him.
Mm.
My God, straight Dyson, and
Yeah,
in
we
the
got some.
SEC of all conferences.
Yeah.
My God.
So I'm checking in on Iona.
They're
They're
still
0 and
winless.
19,
They're
0 and
winless.
3 in conference. They have a losing streak of 19 games.
It's
Poor guys.
bad.
Let's check the
It's
games.
bad.
Who did they play? They played
Ryder.
Ryder, lost 1-3, 3-15, and 1-8. Ouch. And then they play Stony Brook this Wednesday. That'll be not a good game. And they played Monmouth this weekend in conference. Hey, they play St. Peter's.
It don't matter. They're gonna run over him too.
Interesting.
I feel so bad. It cannot be fun to play for them. It just
Well,
can't be.
I don't understand like going week to week like that. Just must be because we've felt like when we played before, like losing streaks happen, but it just
It's the
must
pitching staff,
suck.
bro. It's the
Mm-hmm.
pitching staff. Their best guy has a 6.23 ERA.
Big yikes.
That's not good. Their best pitcher has 30 innings. He's got 6 of the losses. He's
Well,
got
all of
20.
them have losses right now.
Well, yeah,
There's no
he's got
wins.
21 Ks, but then 12 walks,
Mm.
28 earned runs, 40 runs, 51 hits. Does this dude just go in there and just
I mean
walks it?
that first game though for this weekend, if it's 1-3, you can't really blame the pitching staff on that. If you hold a team to less than
Oh,
4 runs, it's pretty good.
I just
It's
would
just a
not be
tough
having
look.
fun.
It's just a tough look.
Old Dominion, baby.
Where they at right now?
We dropped 2 this weekend.
We dropped 2,
Yeah,
but
almost
didn't
dropped
get
the
swept.
third.
Did not get
No, we
swept.
did. Well, we didn't win the series, but it
Right.
is what it is.
Bounce back.
Nothing to write home about. Yeah, I don't know. Could be better. 18-4 on the year. Don't know why we're not top 25, but
It's
what
a
do
whole
I
nother
know?
discussion.
I'm not voting. I'm not on the committee. You know.
Yeah.
Gonzaga beat the Mormons this weekend.
Actually, BYU took the first game against them.
They did, yeah.
But then did they bounce back and win the next 2?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna move on to like big players of the weekend that I had written down.
Big players of the weekend.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit. Jake Gary from Yale, man, had 4 tanks. 2 of them were grand slams.
Mm-hmm.
He had
11 was it 11 RBIs?
11 ribbies. Yep, in one game.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Then you had Logan Williams for North Dakota State, who I did not know had a baseball team. He had 2 grand slams as well.
What?
Mm-hmm. Nodak State.
Oh my God.
Then you had Kennesaw State, Joshua Hatcher believe his name. He hit for his second cycle on the season.
Oh my God.
So he's hit for 2 cycles, and I'm pretty sure it was in the same series. But again, don't quote me on that one. But I know it's his second cycle of the season.
Okay, won't quote you. Heard.
Yeah, it's already recorded, but like
We can edit
I
that
put a
out.
disclaimer, so can't get me on that. It's like a
Fact
Uno
check
reverse
me,
card.
boy. Uno reverse card works on anything though.
It's facts.
I know it's specs.
Cool. So that pretty much covers
Well,
the weekend, unless you got something else.
no, I don't got nothing else for big players. I did not know Vanderbilt dropped the series to South Carolina this weekend,
They did.
which I think could be huge considering they got Tennessee this coming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Tennessee having all the momentum now.
Tennessee's just been running. That could be a very good series.
I think that'll be a good one
You
as well.
think Tennessee will pull a fast one on them on Friday on April Fools?
What do you mean? Just not show up to the field, or what?
Yeah, bro. Just or come in from a helicopter. Could you imagine?
All right.
Could you imagine?
It would be wild.
Or Tennessee walks out with Vanderbilt jerseys on.
Got him.
Could you imagine?
That'd just be absolutely crazy.
So what if they swap jerseys, right?
You're talking about like before the game, or
yeah,
like you're talking about
Vanderbilt wears Tennessee and Tennessee wears Vanderbilt. Who gets the dub?
Well, I mean that is a good question.
Yeah,
Because
I'm asking the hard
the team won, but they were wearing the other team's jerseys.
Yeah,
Maybe it just goes down as a dub for both.
a tie.
Sure, could have another tie in the season. There you go.
See, I want to hear comments. What you got? Who gets the dub if they swap jerseys?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know.
It's not a jersey swap.
No, I get that. Like that's why I asked like before, but it's not like after the game where it's like, hey man, dap me up and then swap jerseys with me so I can hang it up in my room. No. I get what you're saying.
It's before.
They come, but then
where
are they playing at? Are they playing at Tennessee? Or are they playing?
It's at Vanderbilt.
Okay, so then does Tennessee then get to bat in Vanderbilt's spot? Because but then if they do that, then everything is pointing towards then. So if Vanderbilt won, but it was Tennessee playing as Vanderbilt, then it still counts as a Vanderbilt win.
But then
you know what I'm saying?
The Tennessee guys get a pitch to their own dudes, but Tennessee has to play defense.
No.
Yeah.
But then but the same rules would also apply to Vanderbilt then.
Well, yeah. We're just swapping the game on all of them.
Did you just side note though?
Sidebar.
Have you seen some of the stuff for like the Savannah Bananas, like all their rules and
stuff?
Yeah,
it's money.
Like the catching the foul balls and out.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's awesome.
That's wild. That would suck so much as an at bat. You hit it and you're like, crap.
Well, that one or the no walks. The no walks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's like you can take like the ball's live as long as like everybody has to touch it before you can play it again.
And the the batter has to get the second.
I thought it was just like you could advance at your own risk.
Nope,
like
he's got to go to second.
Oh, actually?
Yep.
Oh God, I would not survive in that league.
Could you imagine if that was at the collegiate level?
Jeez.
You'd get so many people watching, and so many people would go.
Yeah, that'd be bizarre.
But it also
especially catching the foul ball thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be fair because then like you could hire ex-pros to go sit in the stands, maybe that'd be kind of bonkers.
All the alumni.
Yeah, that'd be kind of bonkers though.
It would be.
No bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Factual statement.
Facts.
Yeah, it is facts.
Anyways, looking forward. You want to look forward at the week? What we got going on?
No.
All right. Well,
I'm busy.
You're busy the entire week?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the listeners aren't busy. So if you're not busy, some games to watch this week, especially on Tuesday.
Tuesday?
We got
the midweek. I got the later in the week.
All right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
You got me for sure.
You heard.
So NC State and East Carolina will be a good one to watch, even though they're both not ranked anymore. I still feel like they're very good opponents and just tapping on the door. They're looking at the outside because NC State kind of had a skid at the beginning of the season. Same with East Carolina. Looking at some other earlier games. That's going to be the one that really kind of sticks out. Florida and Florida State, two ranked opponents.
Again? Didn't they just play
They
each other
play on
last week?
Tuesday. Yeah, this one might actually be. I don't think this is actually in conference then.
Just a midweek.
It might be.
Kevin O'Sullivan was like, "Let's beat up on little brother."
Sounds like it.
Mm,
Might happen like that, you know. You need to get some
mm,
dubs here and there sometimes.
mm.
UNC Wilmington, who isn't a bad team, they're playing North Carolina. Dallas Baptist and Louisiana Tech are playing each other. Um, Mississippi State and Memphis, so Mississippi State should be able to pull out that game. Texas A&M and Texas, that'll be a good one. And then for those of you around the Omaha area, Nebraska is playing Creighton at Schwab. They will
Charles
play
Schwab.
Yep,
Come
Charles
on.
Schwab Stadium. Okay, we
I
got to
don't think it's
shorten it
actually.
somehow.
I don't think it's undergone the name change yet, technically.
So it's still
So
TD Ameritrade.
I believe so.
Okay. Ballpark in Nebraska. Creighton
Mm.
is playing Nebraska.
Well, you can't say that because there's Warner Park.
Okay. Creighton's home field.
Okay, that will work.
Yep.
Home to CWS is what you could all say.
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, I do want to continue to watch this Texas State team.
Yep.
Proven to be pretty well. They play Sam
Yep.
Houston.
Yep.
Old Miss and North Alabama, so Old Miss should be able to recover after the sweep over the weekend. Arkansas is beating up on Little Brother, so they're playing Little Rock. Otherwise, a lot of in-state games because Utah Valley is playing Utah. Washington's playing Portland. So
yeah, it's
right
the
next to
midweek,
each
my
other.
guy.
Yeah.
They're not going to travel, you know.
Right. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma are playing. That'll be a fun little game to watch.
What is that? Stillwater to Norman? Or vice
Something like
versa?
that. Then UC Santa Barbara is playing UCLA. Arizona State's playing UNLV. Looking ahead to Wednesday's games.
That was just Tuesday?
Yes, that was Tuesday.
Oh
Those are
my
games to watch for the
God.
Tuesday. Yep. Again, the kind of the same repeat games. Miami's playing Florida Gulf Coast. So you'll have some some back-to-back games. Otherwise, not really much to look at there for Wednesday. And then Thursday, Florida and Georgia kick it off.
On
Those will
what
be
day?
too good. On Thursday.
Oh, interesting.
And then LSU will play Auburn.
Yeah,
And I believe that's the series start for both of them. So they'll probably go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, you got Friday games?
Yeah, they're tired of listening to your voice. Ready for the sex god. Here I am.
Absolutely.
Florida, Georgia, like Josh mentioned, is a big one. Another ranked one's Georgia Tech, Virginia. Virginia's been rolling. I don't know if Georgia Tech's got in, and they might drop out of top 25 this weekend. Miami Duke plays this weekend. Pretty sure Duke just took a series. Yep, they did against Florida State, I believe. Yep, they took the series against Florida State, so that could be good. Maybe Duke moves top 25. Kent State, Connecticut. Your Texas State, whatever Wildcats, whatever the hell they are, plays Appalachian State. I don't think that'll be that huge of a game.
State.
Notre Dame and Florida State. Good to see how Florida State can kind of recover from that series loss to Notre Dame, or not Notre Dame, Florida State to Duke. And Notre Dame only played the one game against Virginia Tech and lost this past weekend. So both teams coming out of, I guess, series that they lost technically. I think the big ones are going to be Tennessee and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
I think is going to draw a lot. And then I think that's the Mississippi State and Arkansas could be very good. Depends on what kind of Mississippi State team comes out. Stanford, Oregon State.
That'll be a good one.
That's another one. The Stanford, Oregon State one could be good based off of how Stanford played earlier in the year.
See if they can crack back into the top 25. If they take at least one.
Yeah, they took 3 against Washington State. They dropped the 3 against Arizona and the 2 against Oregon, who are both ranked teams now.
But yeah, to win against the top 5 would be.
It would definitely vault them back up, especially an Oregon State team who I believe is 17 and 5. They took the series against California. I don't think they've dropped a series yet. Doesn't look like it. You beat the top three team. I think you definitely should be receiving some votes.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the big top 25 games. Iowa plays Michigan if you're an Iowa fan. Nebraska plays the shit Ohio State. Hold on. This is the most important game of the weekend.
Old Dominion.
Yep, Florida International. You know how it is. Hold on. You guys will love this. Iona
Mm.
plays Stony Brook in
Yep.
the
On
midweek,
Tuesday. Or,
and then
yep.
Monmouth, like you said earlier in the
Yep.
podcast. So looks like 4 L's on the schedule. Probably pencil them in. If they pencil in a W, it'll be the first thing we talk about this weekend. I
Absolutely.
promise
That'll
you.
be the yes. Oh, 100%.
Might be the whole podcast.
We're just
Maybe
going to
not.
throw a
Why
party
not?
for them.
We might.
Pizza party.
Lots of streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Party
Confetti.
poppers.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe a few vodka bombs.
Okay.
Maybe even
We're
some
just going to, we're
strippers.
going to do, maybe not that, but
Why?
I don't think we need
Spice
that on the
things up.
show personally.
Oh,
We
this
might just
game's
do another audio episode next week,
oh,
and then we won't know.
and have them in the
Never know.
background. Be hearing
You never know.
unts.
That could just be club
Um,
music. It's all good.
it's fair. I think another game that neither of these teams are ranked, but NC State Clemson could be a
Mm-hmm.
nice little
Yeah.
series.
Yep.
Both
Because they were
teams at
both
one point were
ranked to
ranked.
start. Yep.
At one point they
Exactly.
were, yes. It should be interesting little series. Other than that, I don't think there's any games that stick out. Texas Tech should be able to handle the
Kansas.
sportless Kansas Jayhawks minus basketball. We don't
They got
include
too much.
basketball.
They got too much invested in basketball right now.
Yep, they're currently Final Four, so they're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, can't win. Might steal away from the Kansas basketball team because you know how it is.
I have
Only
like 30
one
fans in the
sport
stands.
can win in a week, so that's just how that
Is
works.
that proven?
It is
Evidence?
Yeah, yup. You heard it here first.
Wake
The
Forest
Love
and Boston
Doctor.
College might not be bad either.
Wake Forest should be able to body
Yeah.
slam them, but
That's
we'll
what I'm
see.
saying.
But you never know. Baseball. That's why you never know.
That is true.
This is not football, so
That's why we always have these every single week. We always have something to talk about because we either
yeah.
have mammoth hits over the weekend, stellar pitching performances, people sweeping,
People
top 10
sucking.
getting knocked around.
Iona. People not
Sure.
getting wins. You know.
Yep. We talk about that for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
I still can't. Honestly, what I do want to say. So, what as a coach do you say to your players
What?
if you have lost 19 consecutive games?
Hey, quit that, bro. Don't be telling people I'm a coach.
I didn't say that. I
Insider
just said
information.
if you were the Iona coach.
Oh, if I'm a coach, which I'm not. I don't know, bro. I mean, you honestly, before the game, you just gotta be like, listen, we got 19 L's, bro. Like, just go out there. You got nothing to lose at this point.
Exactly.
You got nothing. Flop your nuts out, play with some fun, have some passion, bro. You're gonna lose. I mean, baseball, you fail 7 times out of 10, and you make the Hall of Fame, It just so happens they failed 19 times in a row. It can turn around, bro. They could play Texas and take a series. You never know. I mean, that's probably
I don't know if they
unrealistic.
take a series. They could take a game.
Maybe, or an inning. But yeah, it's just you never know with baseball. It's not football where
Right.
you can just go and ram it down kids' throats. It's not
Right.
basketball where you can be bigger and stronger and faster. It's baseball, bro, where any guy can have their stuff on any given day, or
Exactly.
any team can be off on any given day, which is why, Texas dropped the 2 against Texas State, or Tennessee swept the #1 team in the country last week.
Exactly.
You just never know what the hell's going to happen. I mean, unless you're in the MLB, then you might, and you just might get locked out. Subtle hint. Sponsors, Rob. I hate you, but
I hate
take
you.
it.
I don't know. I mean, like, I totally agree with you on that, and it's the reason why baseball is such a fun sport, for especially I just think for everybody to watch. I understand that people think that it drags and all this kind of stuff, but at the same that just like you said, you could show up to the ballpark and either team has an equal chance of winning. It's not like in football you have this time limit, and so if you score early and then just hold the ball the rest of the game, pretty much, kind of
Mm-hmm.
slow the tempo of the game down, then you can win that way. Same for basketball. If you score a bunch early, then you can just control your possessions, take a bunch of time, do that. In baseball, you have to get 27 outs, regardless of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
you have to physically beat the other person for 27 outs.
Unless you play in that one game where they didn't have lights and they ended in tie.
They played even more outs than that because they went into extras.
Yeah. Still, the gist is the
You
same.
get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
You're right there with me. And
yeah.
it's not like soccer where you can just, we're in a tie.
We
We're
don't talk about soccer. This is not a soccer podcast. Stop talking.
yeah.
If you play soccer, good for you. It's not the podcast for you. Sorry, bye.
Sorry, not sorry. So we'll see you.
We'll smell ya.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And also, that's the same standard for you can find talent at any level.
Oh, most definitely.
Because, like, mad respect, especially to guys that are like go the JUCO route and do that kind of stuff. Because then you got to enter the transfer portal, doing all this kind of stuff, like finding constant ways to play and just continuing that grind.
Well, not only
It's
that,
crazy.
it's very hard to play at the next level. Like you can play in
Mhm.
high school. I mean, it's hard to play in high school too.
Oh, agreed.
Um, it's even harder to get to college, and then it's even harder to play at a even higher level in the pros and get drafted or even be signed as a free agent. It's just
Mm-hmm.
this sport is so hard. Um, which is I think is pretty cool to hear multiple times. You can put a baseball player in any sport and he'll be able to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a knock on any other sports, but you're just
Right.
not able to do that with any other sport, really. Like you can't just put a guy who's played football his whole life into baseball and he'll succeed.
Right.
You can take a baseball player, and I'm not saying he'll succeed right away, but he'll do something. He'll understand how to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. It's a very technically sound game. So
hmm
you have to be just very skill oriented.
uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh,
It's the same with like if you did play golf, you can't just pick it up.
uh-huh. Unless your name's Caleb, and you can just swap to the other side.
Shout out Levy.
Yep, shout out Lub.
Um, but no, I totally agree with you that you compete. But I just think that it's crazy to think about that you have all these places to go play and you can find competition anywhere because like obviously for football the big draw is D1 and no disrespect to like NAIA guys or D2 guys or D3 guys that are still putting in work, but D1 is a different animal for football and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And it is for baseball too. But at the same time, you can find a guy that throws really freaking hard or can smash nukes at any level. Because you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be that big 6'5", 310-pound lineman or what is it like? What's that one guy? He's like 7'4", playing in the playoffs right now. Forget for which team.
For what? Gonzaga, the basketball guy?
Yeah.
Oh, they got kicked out.
Well, I know they got beat, but like still
They got
playing in
beat.
that. But he's 7'4", man.
Yep.
It's massive.
Yep.
So I mean, you could find like I loved how Dustin Pedroia talked when he played. He's like, oh, I always knew, like, I was tiny, and he continued to grind, and he found himself in the majors. So,
That's a guy right there.
it's a dude. Yeah. All right. You got anything else to say to the people? Any topics of
Um,
discussion besides talking about switching jerseys and
yeah,
home
dog.
field?
I
And
mean, redheads for life.
sure,
You know what it is. 402
402.
1917. Yeah, the 402 gang. Just kidding. I'm not hood life at all. Please don't think so. Nah, I don't know. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying this. Josh is not. He's been a little wiener.
That's not the case. Micah does not speak for me, but you can feel that way about yourself.
fine. Whatever.
No, I like how this is going so far. You can find us on all social media platforms. Again, this is kind of a shorter episode since
We don't
I
have our
believe.
personality guy here. You know, the heart soul of,
You
of
believe,
the pod.
but in all honesty, though, if he was listening out the games this weekend, it would have gone a lot faster. That man can run on no air. It's very surprising.
No air.
Shout out, Tricky Nick. We'll get him on next week.
Chicken egg.
Next week's episode. But yeah, this is another short and sweet episode. I believe we got right to the point. I believe we'll go more in depth, especially going through conference play, and then especially as the regionals kick off in the actually not so distant future now. It's slowly getting there.
No
But
air.
you can find us on Twitter and TikTok at Homaha Pod. Obviously, since you are listening to this broadcast right now, you have found our YouTube channel, No Place Like Omaha. Tell your friends, family, anybody. And if you don't like somebody and you don't like us, then just introduce them to this podcast. And
You can find us on the hub too.
perfectly. I don't think we're on that platform yet, personally. Anyways, I have been JD Wonder, and alongside your boy, the Love Doctor,
Cupid.
signing off for this week 7.
It's
We'll
your boy
catch you
Chicken
next
Nick.
week.
We'll see you next week. That's my Nick impersonation.
Thank you for bringing him to life.
You're welcome. I tried.